It's been an oasis of peace and tranquility in the middle of the chaos of central London for 3 centuries. An architectural masterpiece with a surprising radical past. In this week's Hidden London, we take you inside a remarkable building that you might just recognise from somewhere.
Hello, my name is the Reverend David Peebles. I'm the rector of St George's, Bloomsbury, and I'm stood right in the centre of the church, which is very close to the British Museum. It was consecrated in 1730. It was designed by Nicholas Hawksmoor, and this is the 6th and final of his churches.
The church's spire appears in the famous print by the artist William Hogarth called Gin Lane that depicts the drunken debauchery of this once notorious slum district.
It was an area of London which was notorious for bad behaviour. Peter Ackroyd, the historian and biographer, writes somewhere about Bloomsbury at that point being a place of terrible morality brought about by the abundance of cheap gin. There is a lot of drunkenness, but the difference is now the gin is not cheap.
This prime example of English Baroque architecture was designed and paid for under the 1711 Act of Parliament. But once built, it hosted many movements that swam against the current of British politics.
Its origin is quite establishment in a way. There's a statue not of Christ on the steeple, but of George I, and it was built to help and support a German-speaking monarchy, to assert the Church of England over the rise of nonconformity. But its actual history is also countercultural. It was very much involved in the abolition of slavery. People came here. It hosted the funeral of Emily Wilding Davidson, the suffragette who threw herself into the King's horse, which nobody would touch. And apparently there were 10,000 people outside. It also held a requiem mass for the dead of the Abyssinian War, where the Emperor Haile Selassie attended in the face of government opposition when they were trying to court Mussolini. So it may have been sort of born in a kind of an assertion of establishment, but it also has a history which was much more subversive, where it supported unpopular causes at the time. And that's a history that we're very proud of, really, and hopefully continue.
Today, the church parish covers one of the busiest parts of London, catering for locals and tourists alike. It hosts a Ukrainian Orthodox church of refugees from the war, a Korean Anglican church, LGBTQ and AA groups, and it even has the Museum of Comedy in its crypt.
I don't think Hawksmoor was into the religious. I think he was into the grand. And it is a grand space. It's quite theatrical. But what he also created was a space which was very intimate.
So if you'd like to take in this slice of the capital's history for a moment of calm in central London, when's the best time to visit?
It is open every day at some point, but if you want to come and visit, best ring up or look at the internet. But it is open every day. Obviously the main service, the Eucharist, is at 10:30 on a Sunday, so if you come before that or after that, it's open, definitely. Or come to the service itself, because the best way to experience the building is through worship. That's what it was created for, and that's what brings it to life. And it is the most extraordinary space.